everybody. Right now I want to talk to you about this book that I have sitting in front of me and how it changed everything in our life. So many times in leadership, ministry, business, whatever it is, you go through, of course, everybody knows you go through different seasons, but there are actually times when you completely reinvent yourself. You completely reinvent who you are, what you've always known. I don't mean your core beliefs, but I mean like things that are important that aren't important anymore, or things that were never important that suddenly are. That is really, in probably one statement, what happened to us in the last year. Our family of 5, now we're a family of 6 because I have a son-in-law. But our family of 5 went through this whole, like, I wouldn't even call it an evolution, like straight up revolution is what happened. Everything just went all over the place, but it was the most beautiful chaos that we've ever experienced. So it all started about 2.5 years ago in December, sitting in my mom's condo in Little Rock, Arkansas. The Lord had been dealing with Mark and me about what are we doing in life? Like, what is ministry? We're really we do a lot of reading. We're constantly doing self-evaluation, and we were in one of those times. And we found out in our life some things that were important to us that we had really taken for granted in a different season. And so I got up really early at December that year and sat on a couch, and I just said, Lord, you know, what are you doing? I just felt this thing inside of me. And he said, tell me if you could do like the perfect, exact, what you want picture of a church, what would it be? Because we have pastored traditional churches for 20 something years. And so I just began to write it out. I didn't just write it out. I brought, nerd alert, I brought this scrapbooky kind of thing with me. And I took a pencil, or actually a pen, and I started to write out what I thought needed to be in a church, in a body, in a community. And these little stickers that have these words on it, from that moment, I had no idea what God was doing, but he was giving me this like prophetic declaration for Tribe Church Atlanta, and I had no idea. I was writing these things down. The word tribe was really resonating in us, and we were like, are we going to have like a ministry? Is there a book? What is it? Instead, I began to write down things like the word supernatural and how important that was. The word grounded, really having a foundation in the word, unity, and on and on and on. And those words that I wrote that morning, this is the original copy of it, turned into what we're doing today. Little over a year ago, Mark and I left everything we've ever known. We ventured out on something that we actually sat in his office one day and told a woman who prophesied over us that we would plant a church. We actually said to her, you've missed God, sister. We didn't say it like that, but we were thinking, oh, she probably means this because this isn't this. But God really changed some things in our life. And so we have been on this roller coaster called church planting now for a little over a year. And it all started when God began to stir something up inside of us to say the norm and what we've always known isn't okay anymore with us. Now, that doesn't mean that you live, when that begins to happen in you, so many times we automatically divert right to this, oh, well, then that's bad. That's not it. Some places and some communities, they need what you already have, and God is just asking you to build on it. What happens when new worship songs come out or new worship styles come out? So many times I watch churches just go, they just take everything away and try to recreate what is happening at another church. And that's not what God's asking us to do. But when God begins to stir something in you, you have to take a moment and really ask him, what is it that you're doing? Why am I not okay with this anymore? And maybe he will do a really extreme thing like he did with us, or maybe it'll just simply be tweaking what you're already doing, and suddenly the momentum of where you've been plateaued for so long just begins to take off. For us, it started with honestly just this dream and this vision and conversations of, hey, this is bothering me. And he would say, that's bothering me too. I was going to talk to you about that. So we would take it and we would pray about it and say, okay, what are we going to do about this? And when that happens, you start to build this whole other life, and you don't even know that you're building it yet. If you've ever built a house, what starts to happen is this: you start to have babies, or you start to change things in your life. Maybe a child moves out, or you adopt a child, or foster children, or you just get tired of cleaning a too big house, or maybe you get tired of not having storage enough in a small house. And so what do you start to do? You start having conversations about, I really wish that we had an office in this house, or I really wish that we had this, or I think this is just too much wasted space over here. I would really change this. What that natural picture of is what happens in the spirit realm when God begins to build a new house for you, when he begins to take you into a new season. Things just aren't okay with you anymore, how they've always been. You can still respect the seasons that you've been in the past, and I hope that you do. I hope you honor them and know that everything new is built on the foundation of what happened then, good or bad, that there's still a place for that in your story. But just like Moses, he was just going along in Pharaoh's palace, but there was something stirring inside of him. And the day that he saw one of the Israelites killed by an Egyptian slave master, something clicked in him. And that's what will begin to happen in you. And make it fun. Don't just decide, okay, we got to switch gears and now we got to do this and we got to do. No, I'm doing stuff, guys, today that I haven't done in over 20 years. I am preparing things for Sunday mornings that I have always delegated or have delegated for a lot of years. I haven't had to buy the food for our fellowship times or different things. Now, not only do I have to buy the food, because we happen to be portable at this point in our church, we're meeting in a place where we have to tear down and set up every Sunday. Not only am I buying the food, I'm cooking the food, I'm serving the food. And this very kitchen that you're looking at happens to also be the fellowship hall or the gathering place for Tribe Church Atlanta. This isn't just our house. This happens to be the place where we socialize with people in our church. So that hasn't happened in a really long time in my life. But what I've decided to do is make it fun. What I've decided to do is make it simple. Let me give you 4 words that the Lord spoke to us for this season that we're in right now. I wrote it down. He said this. He said simplicity, authenticity, sustainability, and community. And if you put those words together, what it says is only do what's the most important in this new season. Don't get, if I let my mind go to, what is our stage going to look like 4 buildings from now? I would get so frustrated and overwhelmed at the fact that right now I'm still leading worship with tracks and a few live musicians, and that's it. So simplify things in your life. I didn't go crazy with this book. It's a simple book. Be authentic. What really matters? What's the core belief? What's the truth of why you feel this change in a season? Is it rebellion, or is it God really switching you to a different place and refocusing your life? Community. Do you have people in your life you want to do this thing with, to build this life with? Or is it just for you? Are you just trying to build a kingdom or build a ministry because you think that that's what all of the TV preachers and the internet preachers do? No. You have to know that you're making a difference in somebody's life, even if it's a small group of people at this time. And if you'll do those things, sustainability, that's the name of the game. The kingdom of God is not just a flash in a pan. The kingdom of God is here for eternity. When heaven and earth pass away, his word still remains. He will still be here. The kingdom of God, the force behind what we're even doing, is still going to be rolling on.